Good evening. Just finished watching Peter Saul in the TED series where he says, let's talk about dying. So here we have a ICU physician who is from Australia, and he's talking about his ICU patients. Now, clearly, he mentions in the speech that this is not where you want to end up, but more people are ending up here in the ICU because of certain factors that happen. Some of the things that he did mention is sudden death, which is very rare, but it does happen. Organ failure is one of them, and the other one was frailty. So basically, what he's talking about here is that he went around and asking certain patients, especially the one he mentioned there in his speech. He asked him if he knew who was going to speak for him uh, in case he couldn't respond anymore. Uh, I think the patient said no, and then he turned around and talked to the wife, or I'm sorry, the daughter, and the daughter clearly got upset, and she's like, "No, we haven't talked about it." These are very real life scenarios that happen today that a lot of people do not have advanced directives or they don't have living wills. Here in Texas, it's a big thing. Um, you need to be prepared just in case something like this happens. So I don't know. A lot of the times when you go get a procedure done at the hospital, or you're gonna get a surgery done or a procedure, once you do registration, one of the first things they do ask you is, do you have a living will? And it's very important that we talk about living wills because in an event of an emergency, what is a medical personnel to do if you cannot respond for yourself? It makes it much easier if a living will is written before. If you have a power of attorney here in Texas, for example, you have somebody that will speak for you just in case you cannot respond or you're not in your five senses to see what you want to be done or what has to be done in order for you to be kept alive, or something that we call DNR, or do not resuscitate. That is a very important question. A lot of the times it's much better if when we are in our five senses we do talk to somebody about it, because if something like this does happen, and it has happened before, what is a medical personnel to do? I work at Valley Baptist Medical Center here in Harlingen. I have seen a lot of patients in the ICUs and nurses scrambling at the last minute. Does this patient have a living will? Is there somebody that we can call? Nurses call the family members. They don't know what to do. They're not educated enough. So it's very, very important that we educate ourselves. And if for some reason we do need help, let's look for legal counsel to help us out. What is the difference between a directive advance and a living will? Or what is the purpose of a power of attorney? See, these are some of the questions that need to be addressed before anything like this happens. A lot of the times we don't like talking about things like this because we don't think about it, but they can arise. And when they do arise, it happens so fast that it just creates a bigger problem. Personal experience: my father, when he went into the hospital, he went in. Uh, as soon as he went in, they intubated him. They talked to us. At that time, my stepmother didn't want any of the I don't know how to explain it. She didn't want any of the issues falling on her, so they talked to me, and I went ahead and did the Germans directed direct advancements for him. We sat down, I explained to her, and I asked her if this is what we would do just in case my father wasn't responding anymore. And the thing is with my father is that he died of septic shock, and eventually what took him was cardiac failure at the end. So my dad wasn't talking. But the good thing is that we all sat down together as a family. We went ahead and uh, talked to the doctors, and the best outcome was we're going to try to save him. Like he said in the video, life saving. We're going to try to save him, but we cannot guarantee that he will be the same person if he ever wakes up. So, after a long discussion with my family and my stepmom, we did decide that we were going to do the DNR in case that was it, that he wasn't going to respond to any treatment. And unfortunately and sadly, he didn't respond to the dialysis, the emergency dialysis that we tried to do on him the first time. And we just decided to say, let's just let it be. Let him rest in peace. So it is very important that we do find somebody in our family, our spouse, a trusted person, to go ahead and do a living will, so that just in case this does happen, we don't go through all this. We don't go through all this uh, unnecessary waiting and prolonging somebody's death because there is no living will or no direct advances for this. And in reality, like I said earlier, we don't like to talk about it, but it's something that we need to educate ourselves and let everybody know and put it on writing, ladies and gentlemen. We have to put this in writing in order for it to function. Because if we do talk about it and we say we said this, it's not going to hold up. So, best advice is talk about it with somebody that you trust, a spouse, family member. Write it down and always have it ready and available just in case it happens. Because, like the doctor said, we never know when it's going to happen. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.